It's like, why was I even in your wedding? Like, do you give a shit? You know? Like, do you care that I'm a part of your friend group? No, they don't. They don't. But I'm not going to say any of that when they get on. I'm going to be chill. Okay?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together, talk about nerd shit. My name is Luis Gonzalez, and with me is
Ed Bull
and Miguel Sanchez.
And today, three great friends who love each other so much are coming together to talk about nerd shit. So we don't have a feature discussion this week. This week, we're going to talk about the news and just chill out. What do you guys think about that?
We're not going to do anything until we talk about
everybody, that was the podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry there wasn't a podcast last week.
No. We're done this week too. What are these things on your face? You got glasses?
This is the new me, baby. All right, this is the new. I just got it my birthday. This is who I am now. No, I'm kidding. I just had an event called IGN Live, baby. That's why we didn't have a podcast last week. You're like, I refreshed my feed. You guys gave me 3 episodes the week prior. What the hell is going on? I was super busy. I was working. I had IGN Live All Access. This is my persona. All right. I was on stage. All right. I had like a little clicker. I was like, we got 10 minutes left, baby. We got to wrap this shit up. I met some WWE wrestlers. It was a good time, but I did a Nathan Fielder. I had like a Nathan Fielder sling on. So this is my persona now. All right. My name is Luigi.
Wow. What a hot entrance, new. You know?
No, I thought I'd just change it up. I wanted you guys. Sometimes I'm sad that you guys aren't in LA and you get to see all the shenanigans I'm up to. So I wanted to just bring it in for this one episode.
I actually hate it. I hate who you've become.
That was like all business there for a minute, and I didn't like it. It was great.
I didn't like that at all.
No, that's good. I think I'm feeding on people not liking it. You know what I mean? Because I don't give a fuck anymore.
I think the problem is it's like we can't do a bit into a bit without there being some sort of like bit transition. You know what I mean?
No bitception is what you're saying.
Too many bits.
Exactly. Me and Ed set up one bit, and you came in and said, "I'm doing my own bit," and I was like, "Such a Luis." Okay.
And now we're bitted out. No more bits.
No more bits.
No more bits.
Serious business from now on.
Straight face, absolutely no laughing or having fun.
That's what we're going to get into this episode. No fun. We're going to have straight Hollywood business. So if you're into Hollywood, if you're into movies, TV, video games, we're going to talk about that. Something that's incredibly serious, and we don't want to have any funny business. Harry Potter. Probably one of the most serious topics ever known to man. They're coming out with a new HBO series called Harry Potter. And they have a new cast that has been assigned. A new, the 3 little fuckers have been the cast. I mean,
you need to pull back a little bit. You need to pull back just a little bit.
Okay, my bad.
Like
you can't. They can't help their fuckiness.
It's not their fault. Okay,
it's not their fault.
They're
they
children.
just want. They're children and they want money. Come on. Yeah, they did. You know, we've been pretty open about our feelings towards this show.
You guys were pretty upset about this.
At this point, Luis, correct me if I'm wrong. At this point, it's just like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's happening. We don't care, kind of thing. Like you could cast whoever because they already ruined it with Dumbledore.
What's ruined? It's Dumbledore.
Yes,
the Dumbledore. Yeah,
that I understand that, but it's like that's the one. If it had been anyone else, you would have been on board.
Well, not anyone else, but like that was the first.
Sorry. Let me rephrase. If someone to your caliber and liking had been cast as Dumbledore, you guys would be like, well, let's give it a shot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Transphobes. All right. Mark it down. Mark it this day in history.
Okay.
With so much going on in the world. Wow.
So much.
I know. An $80 popcorn bucket. So much going on in this world.
Stop with the bits.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I gotta stop.
We said straightforward, okay?
All right,
so we did get confirmation of the new Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and this news.
And just read it.
I'm gonna read it. All right. So Harry Potter is going to be played by Dominic McLaughlin.
Who?
Dominic McLaughlin. And then Hermione Granger is being played by Arabella Stanton. And Ron Weasley is played by Alistair Stout.
Somebody on Twitter said, this is the most Harry Potter casting of all time. Like, it's like J.K. Rowling wrote their names in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Alistair Stout.
Alistair McLaughlin.
Dominic McLaughlin and Arabella Stanton. Yeah, but on top of that news, in the more recent week, we've also had casting for Lucius Malfoy, Mrs. Weasley, which is a pretty big role, and I'm not going to lie, I'm actually pretty excited about this one.
No.
And then somebody else. Seamus got cast, Parvati Patil, Lavender Brown. But let's start with
Poverty.
Lucius Malfoy is going to be played by Johnny Flynn.
Of course.
If you guys aren't familiar with him, he's in a few things. He was in Netflix's Ripley series.
Yeah,
and before that, he was in Emma. And hey, I'm going to throw this out there. He is also would be a good contender for James Bond.
I swear to God, Ed. If this is how the next year and a half of our life is going to go before they announce the new Bond, where every single white British male. No,
I've got three.
And then, but the thing is next week you'll have three more, okay? And they'll all be big-eared, mousy-faced white men. And we're tired of it, okay?
Moving swiftly on, he's playing Lucius Malfoy. Catherine Parkinson is going to be playing Molly Weasley. That's the one I'm really excited about. I adore her.
From the IT crowd.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
And amongst other things, like The Boat That Rocked.
No, just the IT crowd.
Okay.
No, I mean, Louis, if you haven't seen The Boat That Rocked, we can't help you,
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Belle Powley is going to be playing Petunia Dursley.
Have you seen the picture of the kid that's playing the Malfoy's son? I can't think of his name, whatever the character's name is.
Lucius?
No, the son, the boy.
Draco.
Someone said it's crazy that they found like the new fuckboy haircut for like the rich white kid. And he's got like the broccoli hair. You know what I mean? It's like it's timeless, dude. Are you rich? Are you white? We can give you a shitty haircut.
Back in the day, it used to just be hairsprayed back,
slick back. But we've evolved, baby.
We've evolved. Right? Yeah, it's a mushroom cloud on top. So there you go. Great casting news. Do you guys feel anything about this?
Can I ask you guys this? Just like general, honest. I'm not trying to do a bit. Like, if you watch the first episode, like, and you give it, are you gonna give it a chance?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. And then imagine it's the greatest. What if it's slightly better?
Imagine if it took you out to dinner and it bought you all of these nice meal and stuff, like a Miguel scenario going on.
Whoa! How is that a Miguel scenario?
Because I feel like anytime you're trying to get me on board with like a celebrity or something,
I wine and dine you.
Yeah, you wine and dine me. Okay. It's just like I
will not be wine and dined. Okay, I will not.
I am not for sale.
I am not. Okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch. I mean, I do adore Harry Potter, and I think it is a story that is ripe for television. But I'd
be curious because we just came off The Last of Us and we talked about it previously. So I'd be curious if are they going to go word for word the book, to be like a little different than Harry Potter the movie, or are they going to be like, well, we have to do the big Harry Potter moments from the movie because that's what people are here for. You know what I mean?
I think it's definitely gonna be a tough challenge for the series to get above the movies, or at least go in a different direction. Yeah, I think maybe it might be like along the lines of maybe like the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, where they clearly use the visual language of the Peter Jackson films,
but they did their own thing.
Exactly. Like,
so you're thinking like maybe give it a shot before you criticize it.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to be laying into the 90s.
Dang! Could you imagine this is like the answer to Stranger Things? You know what I mean? Like they're like, let's do like a '90s wizard thing,
right? And that's the intro to Harry Potter. It's just like
I don't know. I feel like I kind of sold you on it.
Yeah.
Well, those are some pretty good updates on Harry Potter. Luis,
Yeah.
do you have any other updates you want to talk about?
Yeah, Peeves. If once we cast Peeves in Harry Potter, I'll be interested. But we're not talking about Peeves. We're not talking about Sieves. We're not talking about Beeves. We're talking about Apple. And Apple has some new updates that just came out. Their new iOS. And I've thought, every time there's an update, we talk about it. And yes, there are a lot of updates, but I want to talk about updates that matter to you.
Yeah.
And specifically the ones that matter to us three on a daily routine. Okay?
Sure. I'd love this.
Biggest one of the biggest ones is, when you're chatting with somebody one-on-one, you're going to be like, God damn, they're typing right now. But you're in a group chat and you're like, I wish I knew if somebody in the group was typing. Well, they're adding that to the new Apple. So there's no escape. What do you think about that, Miguel?
Because hey, am I trying to do a bit right now? How many times do we, Luis, come on now. How many times do we unsend a message? Because it's like, oh, I sent this thing a little too soon. You know what I mean?
A lot.
And it's like, imagine if I knew that Luis was about to send a bit. Imagine if I was about to send a bit and Luis is texting. Okay, let me pull back for a second because I already know which direction you're going to go. You know what I mean?
I love that about the unsending is like you're going on something and I interrupted and I feel bad. So let me just unsend it so you can start rolling on your bit.
Because let's keep the flow going.
Yes.
I agree. I feel that vibe 100%. The thing that I was kind of blown away talking off of this one bit, because I saw that one video about this, was not just the text chat, was also like they were like, oh, do you ever get too many messages from the chat? And that's when I was like, oh, let me lock in for a second because I'm going to send this to Ed because Ed is like notorious for like, oh, guys, you sent too many messages. Yeah. I couldn't keep up. So I just didn't.
Yeah.
Which is borderline offensive. I get mad.
It is. It's abusive. I've had to have my therapy twice a week because of it.
And I'm sorry, I scroll up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get the context.
I do the work for my friends. Do you know what I mean? I go back and I see what they have to say. I'm not like, oh, you're talking to me? Let me just walk away and ignore what you're saying to me.
And then you come back and you go, so anyway, you're like...
Yeah. No, I just dropped a very important moment of my life in this chat and you just didn't even mention it or talk about it. Yeah, I would never do anything like that.
Because imagine if you watch a TV show 2 days after it aired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine you go see a movie on a Tuesday, but it came out on a Friday. Do you still enjoy it? Do you still go back and
1,000%?
You know what I mean? So why can't you scroll up on your text messages and see what we said 17 messages ago? Ed?
That's a lot of work. Sometimes there'll be 60 missed messages because of the countless bits.
For some reason today, I had 45 missed Instagram calls from our chat from Ed.
Nuh-uh.
And we never even talked. Yeah, Y'all didn't get those Nard shit Instagram chats today where it was like, how many calls did I miss? I had to decline calls. I was like, I'm at work. I don't care. Ed's going back and checking right now.
I am.
But you wouldn't have to if you had the new iOS, okay?
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Guys, so they were like, hey, do you fucking ever have to talk a lot in your chats? What if you had polls? That's how they softballed it into the feature. And you're like, okay, all right.
It's like our texts are about to become social media of their own.
But you know what? If it had been just like you send out a poll and then there's the one thing that's getting highlighted, but then they were like, oh, but if you don't like those options, anyone else can create their own poll as a reply. And I was like, so what's going to happen is we're about to have 45 polls and none of them are going to get clicked on by Ed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like polls. No. You guys know I like a good poll or a ranking.
But if we did polls back to back to back to back to back, though, Ed, would you?
But
go
why
back
the
to
fuck are you doing back to back to back to back polls?
Because that's the feature, Ed. Excuse me. Do not interrupt me, okay? Sorry, that's what he said. You know what I mean? He was like, "Oh, but if someone doesn't like those options, they can always reply with their own options." And then all of a sudden, it's like a secondary poll, and so it's like it builds on itself. No, I know, Ed. I know that's a shitty thing.
It's going to create some bad
I like
habits.
my friends, so I will be reading everything that you're sending.
Thank you.
But also another thing is that if you go to Instagram, you can add different texture backgrounds to your message chats. If you notice that.
Yeah.
Well, now they're uglifying Apple again by putting so much shit. They're going to be like, choose your own background, which in the end, we're going to be making bits out of it. Like, we're going to be switching out that background
1,000%.
1,000 times. Like, everything here that they're adding is just for bits. Like, productivity, nar. Bits, yar. Like, this is all that's happening. Polls, changing the chat backgrounds. We did added stickers. We did the unreply. We did the editing. You know, anything they're adding, typing indicators for group chats. What else do we have here? Oh, well, you know, they can also filter out spam text. So if you get a lot of that shit, like shitty texts, from like, you can earn money if you do this, all of that's going to be filtered out.
Ed, he's talking about spam text. He's not talking about a bunch of texts from your friends. The way you said, yeah, I like that. I didn't like that. He was like, all the spam text, you were like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course, right. All those texts that I don't want to answer.
No, for your close friends, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
No, I was just thinking, like, okay, with the addictive nature that you guys use the fucking unsend button. Now I'm just going to see you guys typing, sending, unsending. There's bullshit. Fucking.
It's like,
it's
you
fucking,
know, like someone who's like, you know, who's like scared of like getting into traffic on the freeway. That's what Ed's going to be in our text messages. He's going to be like,
fuck you for that.
Can I go now? Can I go now?
Exactly.
Can I go now? Can I go now? I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
No, sorry, but too busy on bit number 25.
Oh, you don't like sequels, Ed? You don't like sequels to movies, huh? You only like to just pop in. There's also like a cool service where, like, so I get a lot. Everyone gets spam calls, right? And so I've had to go on my phone and I've had to turn on this feature that says, if you are not in my contacts, you're not allowed to call me. Like, you're just going straight to voicemail. But I know that's difficult for a lot of people in different businesses if they're like meeting a lot of people, if they're like waiting on calls from like agents or family members or blah, blah, blah. Well, now there's a new feature called phone screening. So it will screen unknown calls and be like, yo, what's your business here? Who are you? And then once you answer some questions, it'll then pop up on your phone and be like, do you want to pick this up now? No, now that you know who this is. That's going to be featured. There's also going to be an on hold feature. So say you're trying to call a gas company, internet company, and they're like, please hold. And for the next available is in 30 minutes. You push this like option and then it will be on hold for you. And then it will ding you when it's like, hey, they're ready to chat now. So
that might be the like most useful fucking thing they could have come up with on this update. Bravo.
My worry about that is like, because I have anxiety about the hold call already, is like, imagine they're like, hello, and you're like, hey, I'm here. And then they go, oh, we missed you. Boop. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, fuck. I was already on hold for so long, you know?
Yeah. No, it's completely.
Yep.
It's completely valid.
Yeah,
it's completely valid. They also have, if you have an Apple TV, you can do karaoke with your phone. Your phone's your mic. And finally, if you talk to family members who don't speak your native language, they have live translation now.
But can we talk about one more thing before you just rush us off? You know?
Yeah.
The liquid glass thing. What do you think about that? Yes. And first off, before you respond, Ed, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
What if you had to guess? What is liquid glass?
Is it like the case or something?
The case around the phone, like the glass of the phone?
Yeah.
That's a good guess. No, it's liquid. Okay, it doesn't have to be hard on the phone. It's like a software.
Like a waterbed, but instead of a waterbed, it's your screen, your phone screen.
You know what? I love that. That kind of works.
It's kind of squishy. Every time you're typing.
No,
like,
it's not squishy. You've lost me. Okay, Luis, tell us what liquid glass is.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It just looks. It's just basically they're putting transparency on everything, on all their icons, on their user interface. When you're used to seeing it being like with colors and shapes, now they're like everything is see-through. Isn't that cool?
I don't get it.
So, like when you swipe down on your phone, instead of it being like a hazy thing that you can't see through, it's like liquid, so you can then see the background behind whatever your swipe down menu is. And you should, first off, Ed, on your own time, go look at a video so you know what we're talking about. But I just think in general, what I've heard is this is going to fuck up your battery. This is going to fuck up your, you know what I mean? Your like, whatever, computing power or whatever.
It's just like, it's processing too much information.
Yes,
like, look, when you move the camera, when you move the phone left and right, it's shimmering as if there was some sort of like light effect. to it, and it's just like we're making our phone work too hard. Like, is this what we want? Like, I don't know if it's worth the squeeze that we're getting out of it. Like, right
someone
now,
said, "Good."
No, it's like right now I don't want to use it for my backdrop. Like, the whole point. Okay, the point of all this is for your eyes to go somewhere. Everything is transparent. Then your eyes have nowhere to go. I feel like that's a problem to me. Like, that's why app color, app design are all key parts of creating a phone. If everything is transparent, then it's just white noise. Well, then what am I looking at here? You know, it's like, I don't know. I get it, I guess, for some people, but this isn't a big thing for me. I don't like it.
Give Luis a job, okay? Tim Cook. All right,
I'm also somebody who says I don't like it, and then 6 months later, I'm like, I love it.
Wait,
so who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, I fucking love how they're doing this. I'm an unreliable narrator on this podcast. Never trust what I have to say.
I saw someone say, like, if you don't have an iPhone 16, this is basically going to just, like, ruin your phone. It's going to, like, you know what I mean? Like, in 6 months' time, it's going to just drain everything.
Oh,
and you're going to have to get a new phone.
Good.
You know?
Great.
And how about being happy, like, once, and you're like,
you guys aren't even optimistic about this.
Well, I don't think we're happy.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, great. It just sounds like they're creating more cunt fucking problems for my fucking phone.
We have a reason to be, because we, like, appreciate the other side of iPhone's features. You just hate iPhone in general.
Right, okay.
Anything it's like, any new there's a new update where you can call someone. You're like, eye roll. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Give me something fucking useful. The best thing they did was give me italicized text.
How do you use that?
So the big meme. The big
meme.
Is
I used it today. In fact, to you, Luis.
What?
I said, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted commitment," and that was italicized. Luis does.
You did. That was good. That was
okay,
good.
That is helpful. That's helpful for Ed, because Ed's got a lot of sassy attitude, so he likes to.
I want to come through so crystal clear.
So there it is.
There it is.
All right. So, I mean, Miguel, what else is the internet saying? You're our internet reporter, our internet correspondent. And Miguel, we're throwing it back to you. What does the internet, the culture have to say?
Hey guys, let's get interactive. Okay. You know, we missed last week, so there was a couple of things from last week that we wanted to talk about, but we held on to it to do this week. Guys, IO Interactive. Hi Ed, do you know who that is?
Nope.
Okay, IO Interactive. They're the studio that came out with Hitman, the Hitman trilogy, the most recent one. Now it's called Hitman World of Assassination. That's like the full bundle of all three of them. Guys, I've kind of in the chats have been talking about Hitman, so you guys know what I'm talking about in general, right?
Ed?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Ed. Don't make that face when I speak.
It's the I mean, the thing about Miguel is he loves Hitman.
What?
He loves Twisters. Like, Glenn Powell for him is just like a god to you, right?
Okay. I'm gonna allow that bit to slide through, okay? All right, that is not what we're talking about. Okay,
we're not talking about Netflix's Hitman 2023 comedy romance.
We're talking about IO Interactive's Hitman. Okay, and that same series, studio, is coming out with their own 007 James Bond game. And the only reason I want to talk about that is because if we talk about video games and we talk about James Bond, we're thinking that like N64 GoldenEye. You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time a James Bond video game came out that was like, oh, what? I mean, even if it was like poorly received, when was the last time a James Bond game came out? It was probably GoldenEye. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No.
Oh, fuck yeah, Ed. No. Tell me about it. What's that last James Bond game you done played, yeah?
There's a one that I had
for tabletop type games, yeah? Go on. You did it with your fucking Legos, did you? Yeah, all right.
There was one for the PS2 that I had. I'm looking it up right now. Hang on. It was like a Nightfire. With Pierce Brosnan, and then there was Everything or Nothing as well. He had 2 James Bond games come out.
Go on, tell us more about those.
They're all right. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that you were mistaken. That
couldn't just let you know what I mean? Couldn't just let it slide.
Okay, yeah, we all love the N64 version of GoldenEye, but anyway, pressing on, Miguel, carry on.
Ed, I fucking put this on here for you, so why don't we just lock in for a second, okay? Guys, I've been talking about Hitman. I think it's a fun game. I think you guys would like it. And what's great about Hitman is it's like got 8 or 9 levels, but every one of those levels you can go back and you can play them differently. So it's a game that you can play in an afternoon, but you could also put in 100 hours. You know what I'm saying?
For James Bond First Light?
For Hitman. Excuse me.
Oh,
Lock in for a second. Thank you. All right. From IO Interactive, the same studio from Hitman. So this has been a very popular franchise, and then now they're taking this even more popular franchise, James Bond. How can we give it this video game treatment? So I watched the trailer. Two of the things that I noticed was it feels like ripped straight from Hitman as far as like the level design and like locations. Agent, what's his name? 47, Hitman. He goes to all of these like international locations to assassinate his targets. And this feels like an updated engine, an updated graphics version of that game.
Can I just...
But...
Okay.
No, hang on, okay? But it feels like so much more of an adventure game than Hitman is. Hitman is very like focused on stealth. You have to get your mission. You have to plan every little thing. And this 007 First Light feels very much like Hitman's universe, but like if you merged Hitman and Uncharted. If you've ever played the Uncharted games, a very sprawling world adventure type game where Hitman is more stealth and like you get guns in Hitman, but you don't ever want to shoot them. You know what I mean? Because the whole thing is like, if I have a shotgun, they're going to find me right away. In this 007 game, it's like, let's get the guns, let's get the explosions, let's get the big action set pieces. And I just think it looks like a lot of fun. I already enjoy the Hitman games. And for someone who is like a little like, I like James Bond, I think I'm really going to enjoy the video game. Ed seems to not really give a shit about this, which makes me go, I wish I hadn't even brought it up.
I just thought it was funny. Go ahead, Luis.
No, go ahead, Ed. This is your topic. You're British.
Well, James Bond is owned by Jeff Bezos now, so I don't know how much...
They did mention Amazon Studios at the beginning of the trailer.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
Got to pay those royalties, right? Yeah, no, I mean, it looked like a fun game. I didn't like the design of James Bond. I thought he looked like a little bit like Tintin.
He looks like a fucking twat, doesn't he?
He does a bit, innit?
I know it.
But
so, yeah,
no. But like you, I thought it was funny. You're describing. You were saying like, oh yeah, it looks like Hitman or this world traveling, kind of adventure. I was like, yeah, that's James Bond, and that's what I did enjoy about the trailer. Is like it seems it feels like it's pulling from like all the favorite things about James Bond, like the world traveling, the lavish locations. You've got underwater shit going on. You've got a duel. It looks like there's a bit of swordplay in it. He's got disguises and yada yada. Like it looks like a larf, doesn't it? But yeah, no. Literally the only thing I wasn't fond of was the
look.
The look of him, yeah.
That's fair.
Like, you guys saw the Steven Spielberg animated Tintin?
No.
The Adventures of Tintin?
I did. And I actually finally got it for you, Ed. So on a side note, I finally got it for you. It took a while for me to get, but I finally got it.
What?
On Blu-ray, the physical disc, he mailed it to you.
Yes.
I thought Miguel put that on the list.
Hold on. No. Miguel would never.
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you, Luis. Thank you so much.
It's coming soon. Anyway, it does Tintin. Yeah, it looks a little Tintin-y, I guess. But yeah, it's just so weird to me because like Ed loves James Bond, but he's not into it. Miguel is cold on James Bond, but he's into it.
I would say
I like James. I just said I thought it looked fun. The fuck do you want from me,
Ed? I would say
cast this guy as the next James Bond.
Patrick Gibson.
Oh, I will
let me tell
say,
you this.
I will
If it
say,
had
I
been
thought
some
the
hot,
voice.
mousy little white boy. You
Oh,
would be
you
like,
motherfucker!
"Wait,
You motherfucker!
Let's go on."
No,
Did he play tennis recently?
he just sounded like a little, like.
Well, it's because he's Irish, Ed. I don't know if that means anything to you.
That means a lot to me, Louise. Thank you for pointing that out. Pierce Brosnan is also Irish, so I can't really hold that against him. You know, I think there's been like one actual British Bond that might have been Daniel Craig.
Oh,
yeah. Dalton was Welsh. Brosnan
Sean Connery, obviously.
was
That's
Irish.
not the same thing.
Sean Connery was Scottish. Oh, and Roger Moore. Roger Moore is very British, obviously.
Roger.
I
would say this, just last little thought, Ed, is you should play the Hitman games. I think you would like them. You know what I mean? Just like give them a shot. If you can figure out the mechanics of that, I think you would enjoy. Because I do think that this 007 game is going to have some mechanics that bleed over from Hitman. And it's like if you don't enjoy that type of gameplay in general, this might not be the game. And that might put people off. And the moment that it happens. Hey, let's move on.
I think, hold on. Before we move on, I'd like to say one thing about this is that I hope that this game's coming out in 2026. I hope that there is like a cool intro song to the game. Like when you first jump into the game, like the James Bond movies have, like, let's get like, I've always wanted Radiohead to be, to do one of the songs for James Bond, you know?
And you know what? I think with Amazon being in charge of James Bond now, I could totally see them being like, well, you made the game, we bought the product, and we're going to tweak a few things. And that being the one thing where we need a big name song.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's pretty iconic for every James Bond. It's like a song is
right. Where the game might not have done that initially, but then Amazon is going to be like, well, of course we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We spent millions and billions of dollars.
Yes. And this being the first James Bond product before, since they bought it and in between the purchase and the new movie, whenever that comes out.
Exactly.
So this is a moment for them to be like, no, this has to do well.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, like, who's cast. It's like it's Patrick Gibson, because we were all like dying to know who's going to be the next James Bond. It's like this is the latest James Bond we're all going to get, and how long? You know?
Exactly. So you have to kind of be okay with this one for now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed.
So that's James Bond coming out 2026. Let's do trailer talk. We got 4 trailers. One trailer that's wicked good. It's Wicked for Good. It's the new Wicked movie for Wicked the sequel to Wicked 1. Miguel, what do you think about Wicked for Good?
I'll tell you this. I recently watched Wicked again. What a fucking good movie. Okay. But also I do think, and I know that it was kind of it feels like in between they made the creative decision. I wish they had not called it Wicked Part 1 and then called this one Wicked for Good.
Yeah.
Because when you go back and you watch it, it says Wicked Part 1. And you're like, okay, yeah. But then this one is not like Wicked 2 for Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's like, I feel like we could have changed that, especially in the digital release of the movie. It's like, let's just call it Wicked. You know what I mean?
They did that for, what's it called? Live, Die, Repeat.
Edge of Tomorrow. I was just about to say, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that, you know? But I will say this. I watched the trailer a few times. I'm very excited. I'm going to see it. This is one that I'm not going to watch a bunch of trailers for, which is funny because it's like Wicked's been out for 20 years. Like, if you know what I mean? You could spoil it right now. You could go on the internet and be like, let me watch Wicked on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I'm holding out. I'm not going to spoil myself. But I did think the trailer was really good, especially after I watched the movie again. I was like, oh, I see. Like I didn't realize this, but there were 2 or 3 moments in Wicked that are scenes from the second part of the movie. And it's they're teasing these moments, but you don't realize it, at least for me, because I've never seen it, that I didn't realize that's what was happening in the moment. And so, one of my favorite songs in Wicked was the opening scene where she's like, the Wicked of the Witch is dead. Witch of the West is dead, and it's like that whole thing. I love that song, and they're extending that scene in the second movie. It's like, oh,
yeah, you see the actual Dorothy and the Tin Man and
yes,
the Beast,
yes, and so it's like all of these little, and obviously
Right.
in the opening after that song, it's like she bursts off on the horse. You see the Dorothy crew going down the Yellow Brick Road, so you know that's from the movie. But there was just some fun little like flash forwards that I didn't realize I was looking at in the movie that I realized now when I'm watching the trailer. I think it looks fun. I did mention in the chat I felt like it gave a little bit away, but then after watching it again, I was like, but you know what they didn't give away was some of these key moments that are clearly going to happen. So it's like, okay, they're giving you some big things to look forward to. I loved the movie. I'm looking forward to it. I really don't need to be sold on this. You know what I mean? I love Avatar. You know what I mean? Like, I just love a good popcorn movie. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to enjoy it. And the fact that I didn't think I was going to love the first one as much as I did, I'm just kind of like already, you know what I mean, hooked and built in. What did you guys think?
I don't know anything about Wicked at all. Like the Broadway, nothing.
You saw the movie.
So, I saw part one.
Okay.
But I didn't see, I haven't seen the play. I don't know what the play's about.
Same.
All I know is that it's the prequel of everything. So as far as spoilers, I feel like I'm like completely out of the loop, and and honestly, after walking out of Wicked, I was like, don't tell me anything. I'm going to try to avoid all the spoilers.
Same.
I do genuinely want to like find out what happens in the second one. But I think I think you're more excited about it than I am. But I'm still going to go and see it in the theaters. I think it comes out like in Christmas. It's a good Christmas movie. Yeah. It looks like shit's getting real. Is what it's like that classic like follow up like. Things have gotten more epic.
Yeah,
everything's a little bit darker. Contrast here. Everything's like more serious.
Yeah. Tell us what you hate about it.
You can see there's a lot of like visual tie-ins with part one. That was like alluded to in part one that had me, I had questions about. So it's, glad to see they're going for some consistency. I've got to say, my reaction to this trailer was just kind of the same way I felt about seeing the first trailer for the first movie. I was just like, visually, this movie looks like shit. However, having seen the movie, I do care. I am invested. I do want to see, what they do with it. I'm also don't know much about Wicked, so I don't know where that story ends. And being like a musical movie nerd, like the second half of the musical is always the weaker half. So it will be interesting to see how they elevate this to live up to that hype of the first one.
I totally get what you're saying. It's like they ended the first movie on obviously
Gravity.
The biggest song of the whole show, and it's like, oh, okay, this was a really good moment, and it might be kind of tough
for the second one.
Exactly.
But
the talk has been the whole play is like, I can't remember, like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm throwing out a number. Okay, something. And like the first movie was longer than the whole play. And then they had like a whole second movie. And I do think some of the topic of discussion is like, oh, okay, well they're elevating it for the screen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like these moments will be a little more drawn out. They will be a little more cinematic.
And perhaps tied in more with, again, not knowing how the play finishes, like tying more into The Wizard of Oz. Like
I'm curious because I don't know if this happens in the musical, the stage play, but it's like, damn, is there like more wizard? It feels like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, where they kind of like mix timelines. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh wait, are we just seeing Wizard of Oz the whole second half of this movie?
They slowly, like, briefly cross paths.
Yeah. So I'm curious about that. One of the theories that I read before the first movie came out was Wicked Part 1 was going to be all of Wicked, and Part 2 was just going to be like an updated Wizard of Oz movie. You know what I mean? Which I think I kind of like that idea. Like, oh, okay, like let's give like Wizard of Oz for this like generation. But I don't know. I'm curious. I loved the first one way more than I thought I would, you guys. So I'm looking forward to this.
plays Dorothy in Wicked for Good?
They
Dakota
don't.
Johnson?
You don't know. You don't know. They haven't said yet, which is kind of fun. It's like, who is it? You know.
Who did you say, Luis?
Dakota Johnson.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
I always love her on a press tour. I'll tell you that right now. She's on a press tour for Materialists.
Materialists, yeah.
Yeah. Put her on another press tour. Who cares what movie she's in?
Accompanied by Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans.
Pedro's the strawman.
She's like, I don't
the
think
Scarecrow,
we're in Kansas.
the Strawman, the Beast, and who's the other one, Luis?
The Tin Man, of course.
Oh, we got the Tin Man, right? Okay.
No,
the Aluminum
Beast.
Man.
The Aluminium Man, okay?
Un perro. All right. Wicked for Good. Hey, you know what? If I'm into this, I feel like Ed's into this next one. Okay, I hope. Okay.
Okay, I see.
I hope, because I feel like for the last 5 things, Ed's been like, I don't want to fucking talk about this. Okay. Even though I texted him previously, it was like, hey, I'm prepping you for this. I think you would really like this. I can't wait to talk to you about it.
I watched the trailer, and I told you. I said I would fucking play it.
He was like,
I'm sorry I didn't like the design of James Bond. Because I'm trying to save the discussion for
You're
the
a
discussion.
monster, Ed.
Oh, okay. Speaking of monsters, Miguel, let's talk about a favorite monster of mine that I'm looking forward to. I think this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein finally got a trailer for Netflix. Netflix had their little event a couple of weeks ago, so we got a few first looks, and the first full trailer was for Frankenstein, starring Oscar Isaacs and other people, Maya Goth, Christoph Waltz, Jacob Elordi. Thank you. That was the one I was lost on. And yeah, I mean, it looks like a Frankenstein movie, and it looks like a Guillermo del Toro movie. I'm, just giddy with excitement looking at the visuals of this. I don't know. This could. I'm looking forward to it as much as I'm looking forward to Nosferatu last year. This is my gothic horror of the year.
I gotta say, there was nothing about any of these pieces that I was excited about. And then I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, I get it. That looked good. It was beautiful, that trailer. The cinematography was just really good.
The colors.
And I watched it again just now, and I didn't realize there's this whole tracking of red throughout the trailer, and it's if you see where the red goes, the red means things, and then all of a sudden there's a little bit of green, and I was just like, whoa, this is a dance of colors. I love that. Guillermo del Toro is very defined, and I feel like in his eras, you know what I mean? If you think about, he's been doing it for 25 plus years, and the CGI and the cinematography has only gotten better. Knowing that he does monster creature verse really well, it just feels on paper something that would work. The only thing is we didn't see Frankenstein, which I think is great as far as a build up. Yeah. But it's is that going to look good? We don't know yet.
Sure.
But I thought he sounded really good, and I just loved all of the world around it, which I think is what Guillermo del Toro is really good at, is world building.
Yeah. Weird but beautiful. There's that shot of that really white shot of a white coffin, but then the red circle surrounding the head of in the coffin.
Yes. And so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just using that as an example.
So watching it, I was just watching. It's he's got the red hands, and it's his hands are the tools, right?
Right.
And then it's that red coffin, the white coffin with the red thing. It was that's not Jacob Elordi. So it's he's trying this multiple times. He's trying to bring this dead person to life. And then there's this one shot where there's there's a bunch of corpses on the edge of the frame, and there's one with red on it, and it's is that Jacob Elordi? You know what I mean? Is that his Frankenstein's monster? That we haven't seen yet. And then I realized it was the lightning was red, the buttons were red, the juice was red, and it was oh, okay. Let me follow on the screen who's red and who's not.
Yeah.
But no, I just thought, and then there was like the person like draped in green. I didn't know who that was.
Maya Goth, I think.
The bride, perhaps.
Well, she's probably playing Frankenstein's stepsister, I think.
Ew.
What the hell?
Yeah, are you guys
What the
familiar
hell?
with the story?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
but
Frankenstein's the monster, and then he goes out and he's got little plugs in his neck, and he's like, oh, and then he meets a girl, and then he kills her, and then
that's it. Elizabeth. Oh,
I'll
you
say
know
this.
what? Ralph Ineson is in this too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I thought it looked so good. There was one of those trailers that I feel like you guys had been talking about, or someone had been talking about Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro, like leading up to it. Oh, they're making another Frankenstein too, like the Christian Bale one with Maggie Gyllenhaal's directing or something, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, Frankenstein's the new, it's like the Deep Impact Armageddon type vibe of this year. And so it's, yeah, exactly. And so I was like, I don't really give a shit about this. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looked good. And the fact that it's like a Netflix movie, I'm like, oh, baby, I might get to watch this at home. Okay. Say less. All right.
On the opposite end of it, I hope that it does come to theaters, because I know Netflix sometimes doesn't have.
Yeah. They did.
But I think it will.
They did for his Pinocchio, though it was a very limited theatrical window.
I think you have to, if you want to be nominated for an Oscars, you have to show it for at least 2 weeks in certain cities for a certain time. So,
and it's Guillermo del Toro. You don't waste that name recognition. You know what I mean?
Baby, Netflix will waste anything.
A lot of shit.
I fucking know it. Trust me, I know it. I this is the like wishful thinking part of me.
Yeah.
I like just give me a week window. I'll be there. You know what I mean? I will be there. Yeah. So Frankenstein.
God, what could keep Ed away from the theater for a week? You know what I mean? Some sort of insurrection. You know what I mean? Goddamn, his house burns down. You know. Texas falls off into the Gulf. Like, what? I'm serious. I'm asking legitimately.
Oh,
what
I thought you were trying to do
event,
a bit into the next
what
trailer.
could keep Ed from seeing a movie in the theater with a 1 week engagement? You know what I mean? You would move mountains.
Oh, absolutely. I would.
You would turn every notification on your phone off just to see a movie.
I would cut off my right leg to get there. You know, if that was all I had, I'd just. Like I was in a bear trap or something.
And
like take it.
It was Frankenstein's monster all along. You know what I mean?
Jacob Elordi and Ed's leg.
No, imagine he takes off that hood and he's hot. You're like, fuck!
Damn!
I
More
didn't
like
want
Frankenstein.
Fuck.
I think he's definitely going to look different than what we're used to. Like, it's definitely going to be the classic Frankenstein.
Have you guys seen the Kenneth Branagh Frankenstein with Robert De Niro as the monster?
What?
No, but
yeah, from the 90s, and Helena Bonham Carter's
he's
in
like,
it.
Hey, oh!
Yeah. You talking to me? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very like melodramatic, but it's pretty good. Like visually, it's pretty intense. There are some bits in there that really make your hair stand on end. But anyway, I digress. Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I've always loved Crimson Peak.
Yeah,
so this is getting him like Crimson Peak vibes. As far as like the era goes, so I'm excited for Frankenstein Guillermo del Toro coming on Netflix. I think that's coming on Netflix is Stranger Things season 5. Finally, it's been a minute since the last Stranger Things came out. They're all grown up. They're all in the 30s and 40s, about to retire.
Listen, I only want to say this real quick, and I will acknowledge all of the criticisms on Stranger Things season 5 and all of it leading up to this. Okay, it's weird that like one of the flagship Netflix shows has taken so long to put out 5 seasons. I get that. You go back to season 1 and they're like, oh my god, those are fucking children. Okay,
Yeah.
And then you see them now and you're like, jawlines? The fuck? Okay, like
They're married,
excuse me.
huh?
how many Adam's apples are we looking at here? Okay, like these. I get it. All right, I understand. It's been too many years, and it feels a little weird. And I have not kept up with the show. I think the last time I watched it was season 3, so I'm way behind. And I was like, well, let me watch a few episodes and like catch up. And then I saw how many episodes are like an hour and a half long. Like last season they put out movies every episode.
Yeah, the last episode was basically like 2 movies at the end. I mean, the first Stranger Things came out in 2016, so we're about to hit 10 years. So that's what, 2 years per season. When you think of it that way, I think that's like kind of okay and fair to say. If you got to give time for the writers to write and not just speed write and to just throw some stuff out there. But it's hard. 1,000%, it's hard
when you're working with kids though, because it's like, how do you like justify all of these growths?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, a jump in time could be helpful, something like that, where it's not just like absolutely following up with one another. Like if you took into consideration like these events happen every 2 years or something like that. Like the way that they do with It. It's like Pennywise comes out every so often.
X number of years, yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I will say I've always watched all the Stranger Things. I'm excited to watch this one. I think this is just like this is an event season show.
Yes, this is the end game.
It's a water tank show. Like every time a new season comes out, I'm always like watching it, and it always, I don't know. For me, I'm always like, ooh, what's going to happen next? I feel like this is quintessential Netflix, where after each episode, any show you watch, doesn't have to be Stranger Things, but just in general, like if there's a show you watch and you're like, ooh, what happens next? Netflix does a really good job when they nail it. And for me, this is the experience that I've had in my life. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll watch Stranger Things 5 for sure. Like this is, it's nothing, when I saw the trailer, it was nothing new. It was just like, yeah, this is just amping it up to 11. It's like, get out of here! What I mean? It's like
this trailer, this one is the one that made me go, wait, am I about to rewatch all these episodes to like catch up? I thought this was a great trailer. Ed's going to tell me, okay, I get it, Miguel. But I thought it was a really good trailer. I loved the fact that they were like, look, it's the end of the show. Let's give you the greatest hits and the scenes from season 1 to season 5. And let's give you just enough new looks without giving too much away. And it ended on a moment that, guys, whatever. It gave me goosebumps, okay? The fact that...
I feel like if you liked this, you'll like past Stranger Things. I think it's just delivering the Stranger Things that, for me at least, it's like...
Yeah,
whatever you've been getting, we're getting it to you again. And that's not a bad thing. That's why I keep watching it.
It made me go, I think I'm going to watch this. You know what I mean? I'm hooked. It's been too long and I forgot, but I'm hooked back in. You know what I mean? I thought it was a good trailer.
They touch upon all of the last few entities or beasts or monsters that have been coming after them. And that final moment where you have that kid yelling, run, that really kind of, perks your interest. I like was so on the trailer just because I really haven't been invested in this show since season 2. But I also acknowledge that it is a big deal and they have been going to great lengths, like you guys said, to make it an event series. So I appreciate that. And it's not that I didn't enjoy those first 2 seasons. It was just more of a, I faded out of it,
I think if you were like trying to watch all of these again leading up to the release is kind of like it's a task. You know what I mean? This is a chore. I cannot just do that. But I do think this might be something that where in a few years you're like, oh, you know what? Like, what if we rewatch Stranger Things or Game of Thrones? You know what I mean?
COVID 2 came out. Like, this would be a time.
Like, what if we just like binged a show real quick and then you started Stranger Things over and you just like did it all at once?
Yeah.
I think it could be a lot of fun. I think there's like a big talk in the internet where the big talk is like, oh, I've moved on, How could they ask me to watch this show again?
And I just feel like people are just so...
But they will, exactly.
So dumb.
Yeah, you have like an iconic moment.
They're going to watch it all the way through, boosting that.
And then when it's over, those same accounts are going to be like, "Is this the best fucking show I've ever seen?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when Kate Bush is running up the hill was trending. It's like
yes, yeah.
That became a moment in time, and like, that's what like Stranger Things does sometimes. It'll have like an iconic moment that'll keep people running back to it, and to get that internet clout, to get that aura farming. It's like it is irresistible honey to people. Like if something is popping on the internet, oh, they got to become fans of it and do it, and they were there from all along, and so. Who knows? It's going to happen. They're good at creating iconic like that. I mean, I don't know. Like they are calling out old nostalgic Hollywood stuff in the 80s and 90s where you had iconic moments. You think Back to the Future. You think Jurassic Park. You think Poltergeist. You think whatever. Like all those movies are really good at giving you like that one moment, that one scene. You're like, fuck, that hit hard. And so I imagine they're going to do that again.
And that's like the origin of Stranger Things, though, right? Like that was nostalgia bait, like before nostalgia bait was a thing, Yeah. And Luis, you really nailed it on the head. Like internet clout is like such a thing. So the moment this show comes out, there's going to be all these TikToks where everyone's like,
I've said it all along. Yeah.
And I'm like,
the little heads.
All right. Yes. What? Over here? And it's like, ugh, all right, can we just enjoy a show? You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to it. I thought this trailer was really good. I've watched this trailer a ton. I told Ed I think it's like one of my top 10 trailers of all times. Oh. And I get it. You guys are like, but
because it's basically a montage. It's hard to give it that.
But a montage
credit.
Can work, Ed.
It can, of course, yeah. But it's just like.
I'm not getting into this. Don't start.
There's also a lot of but it wasn't just. There's a lot of new shit that they showed in this trailer too. Like, I felt like some of the stuff that they showed.
You've only watched since season 2.
Yeah,
everything they showed. But like,
I recognize so many spots from the previous seasons because you're like you guys are saying, it has such internet clout. It's like every time a season comes out, it is exposed to death over social media, Reddit, whatever. So like I get all the twists and turns and the monsters and the who's the favorite character of the season because it's all over fucking social media. So I recognize those bits, like fucking guy in the sailor suit in the mall.
I guess I'll say this is like when you said it was montage heavy, and I watched it, I was like, oh, it didn't feel as heavy as it is when you described it. I felt like
I described it.
I felt like there was a lot more being revealed than expected. Do you know what I mean?
Because the bits they show, they're like. It's like, this is part A and this is part B of the trailer. You know what I mean? It's like they're showing this because they're revealing this. And that's
very
why
well said. That's very well said. Yeah.
That's why I thought the trailer worked. And
it wasn't like Avengers Endgame trailer where it was like, that was hella montage. I didn't get any information. This one was like, oh, wow, look at that scene or look at that. I can't think of it. Like that moment or.
They also, like, the whole thing they build around is Will, and it's like Will was a character in season 1. The whole reason Stranger Thing happens is because he was taken. And in season 1, she puts the lights up on the wall, and he tells her through the lights, you got to run. And that's how they ended the trailer, with him screaming out loud, viscerally, run! Exactly. And what a moment. I just, again,
a very good moment.
And that's what I'm talking about, the A to the B. It's like they're saying this was the moment and this is the moment,
Yeah.
Okay.
I get you.
Man, I'm sorry. Let me catch my breath.
No,
here.
I love it. I'm
guys.
glad. I think Ed thinks there are some montage moments that aren't actually the montagey moments in that trailer.
Stranger things have happened.
Eddington is a new trailer. Oh, unsend my message. Unsend my message.
You know what, Ed? You're giving a ton, all right, of feedback here, all right?
I'm trying. If we all were just like, oh, I love this trailer, it would be boring, right? We've got to keep up the...
Can I say, you're so right, Ed, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
There we go.
Ed says a ton of things, Ed says a ton of things. My little Eddie boy, my little Edding right here. Edding, why don't you say a ton more? Tell us about Eddington.
Baby, please.
Did I shove that
Eddington,
puzzle piece down your throat? Okay,
the new Ari Aster film just got like a more full-on trailer. We had a teaser trailer a little while back, right when it, I guess, premiered at Cannes. release is nigh upon us, and they released a full-on trailer. So you have a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. You have this feuding sheriff and mayor, respectively played by Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal in this town of Eddington. Specifically during 2020, during the pandemic. So yeah, we get to see a little bit more of Emma Stone. We get to see a bit more of Austin Butler's character. I mean, I was already on board for this film, but yeah, the trailer just looks wild.
Can I say something embarrassing just real quick?
Oh yeah, please. Embarrass yourself.
Is this not the Pedro Pascal movie with Chris Evans and Dakota
No,
Johnson?
that would be Materialists.
That's Materialist. Pedro Pascal is coming out with what this year? That's insane.
This is like, what, the fifth movie?
It's all of a sudden making sense because I'm seeing all this social media presence from Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, and Chris Evans. And when you mentioned Joaquin Phoenix, I was like, well, wait a second. Where is he? Why wouldn't he show up? You know what I mean? And now I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't even realize.
It's a whole other movie.
The man does not stop working. He is constantly...
He is getting his net worth this entire year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
years
he's just...
down the line, they'll be
he
like,
loves
he's
being
a
on a
billionaire.
press tour, you know? Yeah. I'll tell you this.
God.
After this, what happened?
3 movies with Fantastic Four. 3 movies in 1 year?
Miguel, you also forget he was in a TV show this year too.
What TV show?
The Last of Us. These are 4 things.
Oh my God.
Hang on.
Hang on, what? You got more for us? More Pedro?
Yeah, I think he had one more. Hang on. The Last of Us, Eddington. Okay.
What is it? Tell us.
No, I thought he did. Hang on. Materialist, Fantastic Four, yeah.
Imagine you see Pedro Pascal on vacation. You're like, what are you doing here? You know
I guess it is just 4. I thought that was one of them.
You know what it is? Because Gladiator was in the end of last year. And so it feels more recent.
You're so right.
Yeah.
And we just flowed right into, and the Wild
but he's
Robot,
got Mando.
lest
Mando
we forget.
He's going to have Mando and
Wild
Doomsday
Robot.
that same time.
Yeah. But busy boy. And, I mean, damn if he doesn't look good doing it.
I love the director. I love the director, and I'm excited to see this movie. And I tell you what, though, I saw this trailer with Sarah. At the end of it, we both looked at each other, and we were both like, "What the fuck was that trailer even about?" I mean, listen, I've seen a lot of trailers where it just gives tone and like images and visuals, but I
felt it gave a lot as far as just the tone and the kind of perspective it was going to take on the kind of like the division and the chaos during the pandemic and stuff like that. You had these, everybody turned to social media and you're blasted from all angles. You've got the sheriff who's very insecurely trying to promote himself through social media. You've got the mayor who he's clashing with and all kinds of stuff. I thought it definitely gave a glimpse of what might be in store, but I think that's also like the fun thing about Ari Aster is like same as Beau is Afraid. I mean, how do you bottle that movie into a trailer?
I think what it was, it felt a little scatterbrained to me, and it felt like not as like pungent, and it just felt like too touch and go on a few things where I wasn't able to salivate on kind of the whole vibe of the thing. And
pungent and salivate.
And the music of it just felt a little like the whole thing felt off. I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably I think it probably just was a situation where it just wasn't for me, and I can admit to that. Like, I feel like that's what I'm learning about myself. The more and more we do this podcast, it's like, hey, it just wasn't for me, but it was probably good, and like people in this podcast are the same thing when we bring up other things that we love and that we hate. It's like, I love this. Well, I didn't like it. I hate it. Well, I loved it, and so it's just one of those things where the more and more I'm living my life, I'm like, you know what? Some things just aren't clicking and aren't for me, but I am excited for the movie. And I like his movies. So, I don't need a trailer to get me excited for him. But that's just a weird, I felt strange about it too. I was like, who am I? This is like after coming out of The Dark Knight Rises, and we were like, do we like that movie? You know, it's that same feeling I had with this. No, maybe not exact same feeling of this trailer, but enough about me. Miguel, what did you think?
I actually didn't even see this trailer, but I did have
Hell
a
yeah,
question.
brother.
And I do want to let Ed get his thoughts out on the trailer. But you said something that I'm going to ping on a little bit later. So, Ed, you talk about it now.
No,
Ed,
I did.
Go.
I did. I've already said everything.
We're done? Okay, then let me go ahead and just bring this up. Luis, you said something where you go, after I watched this trailer, me and Sarah looked at each other and this and that. And it had me thinking, do you guys, like, when you guys go see movies,
Yes.
Ed, you see movies by yourself a lot, okay?
Yeah.
But I do assume you're seeing movies with, like, friends or, like, Sarah. And it's
Don't be insulting to him like that.
I'm not trying to be. Okay. I just mean, and I'm putting it into context for the question that I'm about to ask. Is when you guys do that, like, kind of like,
yes,
like movie theater experience where at the trailer ends and you go, I'm going to see that movie, or you're like,
I'm gonna watch that.
I can't believe
Yeah.
they even fucking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you have those moments, or do you guys have that moments where or Ed, are you like kind of like, I saw that trailer, next trailer, you know,
like a robot? No, I think obviously we're in a time where most trailers do come across our path before we even see it in the theater, you know?
That's true. But
like I am definitely
experiencing it.
Like say like me and Sarah do go see a movie together, then I'm always like nudging her like, I want to see this. Exactly. Yeah, totally. No. Even like jokingly, but and then just like the other ones I'm just like
I think you bring up a good point about how like a lot of these trailers we usually see, whether it's not for this podcast, it's just like online and it's just being shown at us. But the thing is like sometimes when I go to see the movies with Sarah, she won't be bombarded with all of those trailers as I am, and so a lot of those experiences are brand new for her, and so she's like, what? Whoa! And it's very cool to kind of experience that with her.
Do you find yourself like kind of being quiet in those moments, like, oh, let me just see how we react to this?
I mean, I'm an unpredictable beast. Like, I think at some points I'm like, or sometimes I am quiet. I think it just depends on the place I'm at in my life.
I want to share something real quick. Okay. This is an experience I had with our friend, Eric Jew. Okay. The first time we ever hung out when he came to Colorado, we went to go see Blue Beetle. Okay. First off,
I've never seen that movie.
Do you guys remember DC's Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
And we ended up having like a good time. It was fun. But this is the very first time. And this is like a story that I've not shared before. And he's listening now. Whatever. Okay. We went and saw Blue Beetle. This is the first time I saw Eric in like 10, 15 years. And so it had been a while. And he was like, hey, I'm in town. Do you want to get together? I was like, yeah, sure. Let's go. Do you want to see this movie? Yeah, let's go see this movie. We went to this theater. It was kind of a pain in the ass because it was like one of those like Alamo Drafthouse, like AMC type theaters where it was like AMC, but you could get food. So it was like, oh, we have to stand in line. We have to do all these things. It was like a whole thing. We finally sit down and then the trailers start and Eric talked through all of those trailers. And I was like, yeah, man, same. And he'd be like, Ed would totally hate this, right? And I was like,
wait, like, hold on, in the middle as the trailer like is still going,
yes,
okay,
yeah. And a part of me was like, I've seen this trailer, so I don't give a shit. And then I'm also like, well, you're kind of right. Ed wouldn't give a shit about this trailer. And then it all led up to, and then it was like imagine like the Nicole Kidman ad or whatever. Yeah. And we were still kind of having conversation, and I was just like, I hadn't seen Eric in 10, 15 years, and I was like, oh my God, is he going to talk? Are we going to talk through this entire movie? Like, because I'm going to have to, I'm going to, like, my anxiety is going to be through the roof. And then as soon as that movie started, we stopped talking. We locked the fuck in, and it was like, I love this movie, and here I am watching it.
Blue Beetle.
And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, okay. Then made me realize, like, oh, we can just talk through trailers. It's fine. Like, who gives a shit about trailers? Like, we can watch all of these online, and we can talk shit through them. And it was like, okay, cool. And now, you know what? We hang out with Eric all the time.
You know, I forgot. You mentioned a good thing about like talking through trailers and the whole experience. I saw somewhere where they're like, they're going to add, I think, more time to trailers. They're going to be trying to add more trailers to stuff.
Luis!
And yeah.
Can I tell you what Eric said about this? Okay. I want to give
What?
Eric a shout out because he put me on to this whole train of thought. I go, ugh, more trailers? And he goes, Miguel, we're trying to save theaters, okay? We're trying to save movie theaters. And what does it matter? Who does it hurt if they play more commercials? Because you're just going to show up when the movie starts anyway, right? And they're going to play these ads anyway. So then the theaters are going to get all this money and we're going to keep theaters alive. And I was kind of like, you know what? I kind of see what you're saying. Like, I already show up 20 minutes late anyway because it's like, right about now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they're just playing trailers in an empty theater, I mean, okay, they're still getting their money and I don't have to be there for it. You know what I mean? If they were like, oh, and by the way, AMC's going to start playing trailers in the middle of your movie, then yeah, maybe we can talk. But I was like, I don't know. He kind of had a point there.
I want to point out that I would have a fucking problem if they ever started putting trailers in the middle of a movie.
And as you should, Ed.
As I should,
absolutely.
It is like, especially when you go to these 2.5 hour long movies, 3 hour long movies, you're basically blocking out half of your day at that point because of the extra.
And I don't need
45-minute
commercials on top of that.
No, that's a lot because like you could have gone to the bathroom right at the showtime, right? And then you've got 30 minutes or so, you know, you're going to be sipping on whatever, munching away. Yeah. The movie's going to start. I've already eaten all of my chocolate raisins. What the fuck am I going to do now? You know?
No. Especially because, like, they, not even after the trailers, is still like the well, I don't know how it is at Regal, but you still have the Coca-Cola trailer, which is like about a 2 couple people. And they're like doing moments in they do a dance off and they act like they're Fast and Furious and they have the romancing and it's all about Coca-Cola.
I tell you this,
they have that, and then they have Nicole Kidman, which I love. But then after that, they also have the format that you're watching it in. So if it's Dolby, it's a Dolby commercial, IMAX, Laser, Prime, anything. It'll be like you're watching it through this way. So it's like on top of the 20 minutes, you also have like 3 or 4 minutes of AMC branding, and then you get into the movie itself, where it's
just imagine. If in between all of that, you and Eric could talk shit about your entire life. You know what I mean? It would just be a top 10 experience. You know what I mean?
Find a friend to talk shit with during a movie. For those trailers. Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think it is, like Ed brings up a good point. It is tough because it does block off more of your day. It's like, oh, a 2.5 movie I can do. Shit, now it's 3 hours, but also it takes about 10 minutes to get 20 minutes to get there, that 20 minutes back, and it's like that is really like a whole half a day. It all adds up. And you know, I think it also prevents sometimes me watching a movie with Sarah. I have to like really commit to, like, don't worry, it's just an hour and 50 or just an hour
timing,
2:10. And then like we can arrive a little bit later and we can get there on time. But I also like watching trailers in theaters because of course I can see it on my phone, but there I'm seeing it like boom with the sound and the visuals.
And it might alter how you feel about it. You guys know I was Luis, you've been avoiding trailers. I avoided the second trailer for Superman. But I went to go see Mission Impossible, and they had that more recent trailer. So I sat back and I just watched it, and I enjoyed it. And I now have an IMAX ticket to go see that movie.
I thought we weren't watching trailers that we didn't want to see. I thought we hummed.
You know, when you're in the IMAX, it's hard to just like bounce, and it was a full theater. I couldn't.
They have the ushers who rip the hands from your eyes. They're like, "This is IMAX. You're gonna watch this whole thing."
It's like the
Clockwork Orange. But it's a mixed bag. What can you say? I do enjoy watching trailers at the theater. Like, I consciously know I don't have to rush because there are so many trailers, but at the same time, sure, there are some trailers I'd like to see.
Just very briefly, I just want to just real quick for us is we're taking Forrest to go see more movies, and we watched some trailers, and he's getting like like feelings about them now. He's like, "Oh, that looks scary." I'm like, "Yeah, do you want to see it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to see that." You know what I mean? And it's like we'll see the trailers at home, but they come up on like the Superman trailer. We saw Minecraft, and they did like the Superman clip where he like lands in the snow, and then they bring him to the fortress. And I think I said this before, but he was like, "Daddy, Superman." And it was just like, oh, guys, I'm having
Getting
a really
excited.
fun time.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm having a really fun time with him at movies this year. I'm going to take him to Superman. I'm going to take him to Fantastic Four. Those are the 2 movies of the summer that he wants to go see. So I'm like, I'm having a really good time. And I think the trailers kind of sell it. You know what I mean? Like we watched the How to Train Your Dragon trailer at Lilo and Stitch, and he was like, yeah, we're seeing that. And I was like, yes, we are. Okay.
Dude,
sorry, that was just for me. I'm having fun.
Comes out, How to Train Your Dragon comes out soon. We're talking a lot about summer movies. I think this is a great time to talk about summer movie wager, the top 10 movies of the summer. Here we go. I'm going to do the top 10 here. We got number 10. We got The Phoenician Scheme, the Wes Anderson film. Number 9, The Last Rodeo. Don't know what that is. Ed, do you know what that is?
Nope.
And number 8, Bring Her Back. Great. Number 7, Tim Robinson's Friendship. Number 6, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. Number 5, Karate Kid Legends. Number 4, Final Destination Bloodlines. Number 3, Mission Impossible Fire Reckoning at 153. Thunderbolts at 187. And Lilo and Stitch at 344 million.
Oh, no.
We are in a place where things are still shaking out. Obviously, like there are movies that I mentioned that we haven't heard of, like The Last Rodeo. And it's crazy that Tim Robinson's Friendship movie is this high up too. I love it.
I mean, to put it into context, though, we're talking about as far as like that movie goes. The Friendship is only like what 16 million. Like the movies that we have had listed
100,
are going to push all of these out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're just like in the early stages of the summer.
1000%. We're in the early game.
Exactly. Week by week, these numbers are altering. And again, we're talking about like these movies barely hit double digits. You know what I mean? Like, let alone there it is.
Fucking Louise.
Oh, I forgot to pull my dick out. Louise.
Hold on.
Nice one.
So yeah, if you go to Instagram.com, or what am I talking about? Just go to Instagram, the app, and then go to our profile. We got a link. You got the links in the profiles. Go there. You can look. You can keep track of where everyone's at. It's between us 3 and Benny Watts. Honestly, I could. Oh my god, my whole thing's falling apart. I could brag and say I'm in the lead. But it honestly doesn't matter because, like Ed says, it's such early in the game that none of these things is like really solidified. Like I would say the 3 for sure would be Mission Impossible, Thunderbolts, and Lilo and Stitch, with a potential Final Destination staying around 10. Like and John Wick Ballerina just came out, so it's like we have no idea where anything shakes up. Once we get like Superman, Fantastic Four, oof,
Jurassic World,
yeah.
Oh, and I mean, like you said already, How to Train Your Dragon is coming out this weekend, and that looks like it might have a strong opening. So yeah, everything's going to shift constantly. I will say this, fuck my instincts for going for a Karate Kid. What a fucking joke that was.
Well,
I'm glad I wasted one of my dark horses on that film.
I have it on not a dark horse. I have it as a fucking one of my top 10 films.
I was gonna say, like, oh no, did you waste a dark horse? You'll be fine. It's 1 point. You know what I mean?
But like, Final Destination would have been a better bag, and that's like 100 million ahead of that movie almost. So
I think we were using past stats for Final Destination, but the problem is that it was such from a different era and generation that it kind of like reborn into something else new with like all the memeable horror film that's out there now with like the Megans and the things like that.
It was the first one of the summer, really.
Yeah, exactly. And it was almost like a reinvention of it again. Sorry, guys. I lost like the pin for my microphone.
Yeah, that's what you get for doing a bit, you bitch.
But
you
laughed. You laughed though, didn't you?
I did. It was funny.
You had a good guffaw to it, so it was worth it.
We have a motto here at Punch Drunk Nerd: FTB for the bit.
For the bit, 1000%.
Anything for the bit.
That's what got me to do the that what's it called? Tom Cruise video.
That's right. Miguel just said, Luis, just start running. Just fucking run, man. And you did it. Not only that, you just made an epic video out of it.
All right, so that's a summer movie wager. What else we got? Okay, so now we're going to do what we were into, things that we've been watching. Do we want to, Miguel, do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I'll be quick with this because we were going to talk about it last week, but
it is prevalent.
I know we're in a transition. You guys know us; we like to play Fortnite. I wanted to talk about last week was the Fortnite Star Wars season.
Right.
Oh my god! Every time I talk, Ed starts yawning, and it makes
it's just
me
like
mad.
the tone of your voice
the
makes me sleepy.
dulcet tones, the deep bass of your voice. Yeah.
You get really good at that now. I feel like ever since when you first did that bit, like it was okay.
Hang on, no,
it's like really
insulting.
good.
Let's
You're
be
talking about the
honest, it's
accent?
fucking insulting.
Yeah, I love it. I think you're nailing it.
Fucking good, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
I said give me my beans on the toast, yeah.
I love it.
No,
All right.
anyway, so listen, last week I wanted to talk about Fortnite, the Star Wars season, because it just wrapped up. But we are into the new one now. We are into like the superhero. And this is, I think, like one more half season to go before we wrap up the year. I just wanted to briefly talk about how I felt like the Star Wars season was perceived. The internet really fucking hated the Star Wars Fortnite season. But I think
Really?
yes.
That's so surprising.
Yeah, but I think you, Luis, Ed, and Steven, and Eric, we all kind of locked in. Oh, no, Eric didn't play the Star Wars season, but
even people at work liked it. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where maybe I think it was it must have been half and half. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think it was also that internet thing where it was like, I'm ready to hate this, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, that's such a fucking thing where it's like everyone's like, I love it, and then people are like, I'm tired of people saying that they love it. You know what?
There's
In
always
fact, we all hated it, and we hated it all along.
Yeah.
You know,
But, but at the same time, every time we hopped on and played, it was really fun.
It was
And-
really
super
fun.
fun.
Like, I felt like I was a good player for the first time ever.
Yes. And I think there was just like a lot of like gameplay mechanics that were really fun. And then the kind of like, I feel like we've seen this for the last year or so. Like for me, like one of the first things I saw was like the Magneto season or like the Greek god season where like the mythics became like a big, playing point of the season. This one was like the lightsabers and like the lightsaber powers, you know. One of the things I really loved was that the guns had unlimited ammo because they were like blasters. So
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people weren't super big fans of that, but I just like it made it fun. I never had to worry about like ammunition. And then when I had to hop into this new season and I was like,
Oh,
fuck.
man.
I had to
Dude,
go like
I'm shooting. I was playing with, like, we were playing, and then I was shooting. I was like, why the fuck is my gun not shooting anymore?
Jesus
and then I was
Christ.
like, oh, I'm out of bullets. Like, I was fine to reload, but it was the out of bullets thing that I forgot. I was like, God damn it. Now I got to find bullets again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to find that is kind of a pain in the ass. But I just thought there were so many really great moments in this last season. I loved the Starfighter or the TIE Fighter and like the X-Wing.
Yeah.
Traversal wasn't 100% great. Like there were some things I didn't love, like the fact that you would boost and you would basically go nowhere, but you could like fly around. And I thought
The lightsaber was a great mobility tool that you're able to kind of like run really fast and jump. Yeah.
Yes, and I learned that like we put our weapons in different spots this season because like we would play together and like Luis would put his lightsaber in the middle and I would be like, no, this should be at the end. Like why are we doing this? And it's all like.
And I moved it around. By the end of the season, it ended up moving to the very end, just so you know.
But I love that. But I was just kind of surprised. I'm going to talk about community experience again. It's just like I was surprised that so many people were like, I hate the season. I think I sent a link that said like 1 million less people played Fortnite this season.
Yes, you did send that.
And I was surprised by that because it was like,
Me too.
For us in general, we're already kind of playing Fortnite. So I just kind of was like, yeah, of course we're going to keep playing. But there were so many people that were like, I'm not playing this game right now. the one thing of all the things, the one thing that I did not love is that they introduced this idea of you got to earn XP to purchase something. And I really hated that. So this last Star Wars season was you can earn all of these Jar Jar Binks things, but you have to earn the million XP first, and then you'll have the chance to purchase them. And I was like, listen, guys, if I'm going to spend money, I just want to spend the money. And I think what's interesting about this new season is they immediately were like, hey, do you want to buy 25 rewards and also get Superman right away? And I was like, now we're talking, okay? Because like, if I'm going to spend money, give me the thing I want. So
that was pretty crazy that, you usually have like a secret skin that, or quote unquote secret skin. Now it's like a bonus skin that it's not called secret anymore. But like they, where you, in the middle of the season, you follow certain quests, you get to unlock a certain skin. And Superman is that unlockable one that comes later down the road. And usually people wait. But the fact that you can just straight up purchase him with 25 and get 25 XP is definitely like, seems like, hey, we really want people to buy shit right now. You know?
And it felt like, hey, this is going to be a quick season again. Like, do you guys want it? Just go ahead and get into it. And I
think this is a full season. I don't think it's a mini season like Star Wars.
No,
is it?
No, you're right. But that's the other thing. Now, hey guys, welcome to my TED Talk. This is something I want to talk about. Is this might be the first season in a really long time that I was like, ugh. I don't love this. Like, I didn't love the little map changes that they did. I didn't love those. The gun changes they made, I didn't love those. And then it was like the skins. I was like, okay. I feel like I kind of wasted my money on this battle pass, but I'm locked in and I'm gonna do it. And
you know what? You're officially a Fortnite fan when you can finally go back and be like, yeah, but the previous season was better. Yeah,
I think so, right? And I was telling Ed, or I meant to tell Ed, was just like, I don't think this is the season for you, but there will be a season pass where I'm like, this is the one you have to do. Yeah, and I just don't think it's this one,
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because typically like the last 100 skin, like XP level 100, is like super cool, and this one is just like, no offense, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. It just wasn't, I'm not into it as like, and you know what's another trend that I don't like too, is that they're doing this thing and they've been doing it for a while where it's like, here's this color, here's this character. Now in 10 more levels, you'll get him again, but in a different color. And I'm like, what happened to, I mean, I understand they can't be making a lot of characters, but they used to do that where it was like, they gave us a lot of characters. But now they're just like being lazy with it, where it's like, it's the same one, just different, slightly different. Like this is the black version. This is the red version. You know what I mean? So
there are some colors that I was like, the last season with the villains, I was like the wolf. I was like, I want all of these colors and I need them. You know what I mean? But that was the first time in a while that I was like, I want all of these kind of like basic changes. But Ed, let's be real. When are you going to buy a season pass?
If they do a Simpsons season pass, would you do it?
No, I already asked him.
Yeah.
Would you do a Wes Anderson season pass? Play as Fantastic Mr. Fox? Huh?
I mean,
the hotel guy, I would play.
Yeah.
I mean, now that would be very tempting. Yes, that would be fun.
Play as Frankenstein, play as vampire. Characters.
You guys were talking recently, or just like you were talking about, they were doing Bob and like of Bob's Burgers and Hank Hill. Like I told Miguel, like I would do Hank Hill. Like that would be hilarious. It's these quirky characters. I'm not trying to like collect them all, as it were. I just want the odd quirky ones, that tickle me. So I don't know what that season would look like, but yeah, you bet. I'm sure there'll be one down the line. There was one. What did they do? There was one recently where I was like, ooh, the Dune one was kind of cool, but
was it the Godzilla season?
The Godzilla one was fun, and I got like one bundle of that, but I only got Mecha Godzilla and King Kong, so that kind of pissed me off.
But the thing is, it's like not it's not the shop, it's like the battle pass. So the battle pass gives you certain skins and
the
you
extras,
have to earn them.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't love the battle pass, you're not gonna like it,
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too, is like you have to go out and still earn the fucking thing. It's like, no, just give it to me because I spent money on
But
it.
it could be easier. Like Luis was saying, if it's a long season, you can earn them pretty quickly. But if
Yeah.
it's like a short season, you have to really like dedicate your time. I have to play right now. Like Star Wars was only a month, and you really had to like pay attention. But if it's like 3 months, okay, you
Yeah.
could hop on every other day.
See, I
or the
didn't
day
realize
after.
it was that varied. I thought like it was a consistent like 1 month turnaround or something.
That was a
new.
mini season, and they don't do them all the time, but sometimes they do that when they need to rework the map and add new stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite. Well, I was gonna say something else about Fortnite. Oh, this Saturday, we're doing a Fortnite all day thing for my birthday because I had IGN Live all week. I'm trying to set it up where I could potentially stream it. So if we do that, we'll put out a link on Punch Drunk Nerd where you can like check in on a birthday stream.
I'm playing my Father's Day card for that.
You're using
I
your
tell you
Father's
what.
Day for my birthday?
Oh no! I tell you what, I'm not, and it's like the next day is Father's Day, so sorry.
Oh, it's Father's Day that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you just say it's because of me? Can you just say, "Oh, Luis, you know,
Well,
it's
it's like a
boys'
double
day"?
joke.
Can you like
It's like,
blame me?
You guys
Yeah,
just have
it's
to
already on the
understand.
calendar.
I have an infant. It's hard to just. Sarah's like with the baby all week whilst I'm at work, and so it's just like a little extra.
How many
to be
movies
like,
did you see last week? Theaters?
None, actually. But nice try. Nice fucking try.
I got Miguel. That's all that matters. Okay.
And actually, I didn't see any.
And
Okay?
also, I only go to see a movie once I know at least the baby is in bed. Like, I look for time slots after his bedtime.
I can't do a 9 o'clock movie, to be honest. I'll fall
He
asleep
goes to
right
bed
away.
at 7. So anything after 7 is usually okay.
But again, like I'm not like also it's very chill. Like if you need to dip out and dip back in, I think it's very much like a
but with
rotating
this
party
group,
situation.
With this group, the FOMO is through the fucking roof. Because like the moment I step off, you guys are like blowing it up. It's like, oh yeah, we just got the fucking
It's
battle
like
royale.
75 texts. Yeah.
You like we're winning. Oh, Ed, you missed out. Oh, Ed's not gonna get this later. And then I'm gonna hop on. You guys are gonna be blasted out of your fucking minds. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, Ed, we just had the best time, and oh, Ed's
I'm
fucking
gonna order
ruining
so
it. He's
much
running
food.
away again, and shit like that. So yeah, to not have my finger on the pulse on this event will be aggravating on every
Detrimental.
level.
This
And
event,
detrimental.
I love it. Okay, great. Yeah. I love it that we have an all-day Fortnite event. Just like, don't bother me. All right. I'm playing Fortnite. When you get in a groove, sometimes you want to stay in that groove, you know? Because you do warm
If
up.
you're suffering, you're just like, fuck this game. Fuck all these people. Number 75, fuck it. Damn it.
It's crazy. It is crazy how different the game is when there's like a duos to squads.
Yes.
Like you very much have to open your eyes a little bit more. You're like, oh shit, it's not just this one or two person. There's like
It's
these
legit.
team, and then if you get third partied by another another team approaches you, that's like 8 people now, you know, and it's like, oh god, shit got out of control quickly. But it's very exciting. Ed,
Yes. Talking about gaming.
Oh no. Oh no. I'll be back. I got my headphones in. I'm gonna listen.
Oh.
wait, his headphones.
Well, I want him
Okay.
to hear this too. All right. Well,
I'm listening. I can hear you. I can hear you.
no, I'm just going to fill you guys in. Sarah and I have started season 2 of Pokerface. I don't know if you've been watching that, Luis.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm up to date to the latest one with the TV guy.
Well, then we may not be caught up yet. I don't know. I just watched the one with that dude from I Think You Should Leave and Detroiters.
Yes, and then he's from Veep.
Yes.
Sam Richardson.
That's
Yes,
the one. That's
thank
the one
you,
I was
Sam
talking about.
Richardson. Yeah.
He's the one with the TV. He has the TV remote.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just watched that tonight, in fact. Anyway, it's so much fun. They seem to be leaning more into the caricatures this season, which I'm enjoying. Like it's like, you know, when you see a Wes Anderson film or equally a Rian Johnson film, he manages to pull in such crazy talent, and it just like every episode it just like hits great. It's just like everybody's jam packed into one episode, even for like bit parts. They're in it, And yeah, it's just a good time. I'm glad it's back. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And I also went to go see Bring Her Back, the new A24 horror film from the guys who did Talk to Me.
Mm-hmm.
Luis, have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't been. There's been so many movies that have been coming out that I haven't been able to see just because
it's hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up. Also, it's a movie when I bring it up, it's like I want to see this movie, and Sarah's like, I want to see it too, and then I'm like, oh, but now I have to make time for us to both see it. So,
see, my Sarah usually doesn't ask me what movie I saw until after the movie.
No, then I get in trouble. They're like, you knew I wanted to see that, and I was like, actually, I didn't. But then, yeah.
Well, anyway,
but Bring Her Back. Did you think of it? What did you think of it? Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I don't think it is not necessarily like as good, but more of like it doesn't have that like wow factor as Talk to Me did.
Okay,
because Talk to Me used like a lot of cool stylistic flourishes, whereas I felt like this one was more of like a just like.
Straight up horror, I
mean, kind of in a way, but like it also dealt with a lot of the human drama, like more of the drama, like the drama, the dealing with loss and trust and that lust of trust and just more human drama than it is like full on horror, but it obviously still has that horror element, and it also has like very grisly body horror moments. So if that is not your thing, this movie is not for you. There are one or two scenes that are really just like, fuck, that's awful. So, and it doesn't shy away from it either, which is the worst thing, obviously. Sally Hawkins is the one, like the main shine here. The rest of the cast are good, but like Sally Hawkins is who typically plays this just like lovely, genteel character in a lot of her films, here is just, you know, it's like her Kathy Bates moment. I'm not saying it's like that character, but it's just like that kind of switch. And that was really enjoyable to watch too. It's real solid. I was basically tense the whole way, you know, so it's a really good horror film. Like I said, I just don't think it has the wow factor of Talk to Me. And I didn't even see that one in the theater, whereas I saw this one was. But it was good. It was a good time. It was, like I said, I didn't know where it was going. It might surprise people. It might not. I don't know. But yeah, I solid 4 stars at least, I would say.
I can't wait to see. I feel like there's just like, I want to see that one, Final Destination. There's this other movie, Presence, that I want to watch. It's directed by what's his name, Steven Soderbergh. So just let me work at a movie theater at this point. You know, it's just like let me run a theater.
Honestly,
you imagine, Ed, we could have, if we owned a theater and we ran it, and we could run the podcast there too, and that's just like our lives.
I love.
What do you think about that, Miguel? Would you work
podcast in the movie theater?
Well, like the main job is it's the movie theater, but then we can also do the podcast in the
like
auditorium.
On Sundays, you could have live recordings.
Yeah,
like after people watch a new movie and they sit down for a live podcast reaction or something. Oof.
I just told myself I would never work on a weekend again. You know.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, that is a basic human right and want.
I said I gotta sleep. You know.
Yeah. All right, so the big news. First off, I need to start this segment off with an apology to you guys and our listeners. I came into this year being blessed with a PS4 from our 2 friends right here. And along with that came with a commitment to play The Last of Us Part 2 before the new season came out. The new season on HBO started. I haven't finished again, and it is now finished, and I still have not caught up with the show. However, I have finally completed the game. And I wanted to share my thoughts.
Oh no!
First off,
oh no!
First off, I want to say if anything, this game has made me want to just kind of not continue watching the show. Purely because I thought the storytelling was so well done in the game that I don't think I'm just going to find it frustrating watching the show going forward.
Okay.
It's how I'm feeling, especially after the first 3 episodes that I've seen now.
Oh no.
3 or 4. Anyway, look, this game stressed me the fuck out, which was a big part of why it took so long for me to play. Because you guys know, and we've talked about it on this podcast before, I'm not like a huge gamer. So like these story-heavy games are not my forte.
Correct.
Especially when it starts dealing with horror and that whole element to it, where it's deliberately trying to unsettle you and you have to keep going down these dark cunt fucking corridors or into these deserted buildings. And you just hear these clicks and screeches everywhere. It was so stressful. I don't know how people enjoy it in that sense. However,
best game ever. Yeah,
it was. I mean, it was thrilling. Don't get me wrong. And the way that they build that atmosphere and that tension, and visually, it's very effective. Obviously, like one scene that sings out to me was the climbing through the deserted, rundown hotel as the Abby character.
Yes.
That was a really cool scene. But yeah, God, just like basically anytime I was dealing with clickers or other ones, I was tense, I was stressed out, and by the if I got out of a situation, I was just like, I want a break, kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I felt more invested as the story progressed, but there were times where and again, purely from my anxiety, where I was just like, this is going on too long. And I texted Miguel a screenshot of Ellie in the field holding the baby on a tractor, looking at the sunset. Yeah. I was like, I made it, bro. I fucking made it. Sure enough, they continue. The game goes on for a whole other chapter. And I don't know what my expectations were, really, I guess, but especially having not played the first one. But look, I will say the story was super effective. I enjoyed playing both as Ellie and Abby. I thought that was a really nice contrast. I did think there were some moments where I was just like, this is going to be a repetitious slog, kind of, But I saw what they were doing as intertwining the storyline and the characters onto Ellie's path and how that all unfolded. So it was interesting to get those two perspectives, but also in playing with those dual physicalities, I guess, and talents. I felt, I guess I would say I was more, by the time I was so used to playing as Ellie, it was jarring to switch to Abby. But then obviously you get Abby's strengths and stuff like that. I will say, fuck both of those characters for putting themselves in all of these stupid cunt fucking situations where I would have died in real life. You know what I mean? I'm just like, there's a dark building. No, I'm not going near that. Oh my God, the Rat King, I guess it's called. Miguel. That was a breaking point almost. I didn't know how to get out. I kept running around. I was like, because there were parts in the game where I was just like, if I just run straight through this room, I don't have to fight a single fucking thing. And I got away with it. But no, that I had to kill the motherfucker, and I got so lost. I was sweating. I wanted to cry a little bit.
Your controller was wet.
It was wet. It was just terrifying. And it took me several tries to get through that. But putting yourself into those situations, it was just intense. Okay, it's not an experience that I would readily go back into. I will say.
Okay, that was my first question.
the
Sorry,
story,
no, finish.
the story was enjoyable. The dramatic moments, like the moment when Abby finds them, and then it cuts to Abby's side of the story. All of that, I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed like I can kill the fuck out of regular people. Like, I could do that all day. I'm a fucking pro. But when it comes to clickers and stuff like that, I'm terrible. I panic. It's scary. There's more urgency to kill those fucking things. Whereas with humans, it's just like, you idiot, slice. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that final chapter, even though I was just like, oh god, where's the story actually going?
See, yes.
I thought the visuals were really quite effective, kind of shocking. The Contra, I briefly talked to Miguel about this, where like I mentioned the show earlier. It's just like I feel like there is something to be said about if you're the game player and you're seeing the casting of the show, I think there was deliberate choices made in the design of characters for the game that don't reflect in the show. But I'm curious, I guess, to see how it plays out in the show. But like, for instance, when Abby gets captured, spoilers, by the way, towards the end of the game, and then we find her later and her body mass is depleted, her braids are gone. Oh wait, Luis, we can't hear you. You're talking, but we can't hear you. Yeah, no. I thought that was like really effective.
Yes.
Made it even more. I mean, I get, because like you go into it thinking like it's not like Ellie has been working out and there was like a workout montage between.
No, and Ellie's even thinner in that scene too.
Check.
Yeah, we got you, Luis. You're back.
Okay.
All right, you look passionate about what you were saying, so say it.
All I was going to say was that like that was something I didn't even think about, Ed, and that is such a good point. That when you see her at the end, she's lost a lot of body mass, and so it's like, how are you going to even?
You feel the physical, the drained feeling. They're just like, they're so tired, they're so battered. How could they possibly continue this ridiculous feud? But they do, and it's very dramatic. That final fight was shocking. I was worried for both characters in a way. That's the weird thing. It really fucks with your allegiance throughout the game.
Yes.
I like that. I like that juxtaposition. To where I didn't come out of it. Again, I didn't play the first game, so I wasn't like loyal to Joel or anything like that. It's purely in the context of having watched the first season and then played the second.
But you understood in the game. I feel like the game does a really good job of like setting you up. You didn't have to play the first game, even though you should. You didn't have to play the first game. They gave you everything that you should feel from A to B in the second game.
Yeah. It was, I'm curious. Like I said, I'm curious to finish the second season to see what else they play out.
Yeah.
What was like added and stuff like that. I'm guessing like the assault on Jackson was purely from the show.
Yes, correct.
Because I was like,
but those are those moments that are good. You know what I mean? Those are those moments that are like, let me crank it up to 11, and we talk about that.
Right. I do. So far, I don't want to like judge the show too harshly until I've actually watched it all. I said, it gives me some, some pause about, again, some of the casting. I feel like maybe they could have.
No, Pedro should have been wider. No, you're right. I hear what you're saying.
Man, yeah, that guy's just in everything, isn't he? No, it really comes down to Ellie and Abby, I guess. Characters I both enjoy. I really enjoyed Bella Ramsey in the first season. Not being familiar with that character. But it's not much of a change from that first season to this season, even though time has passed. And I'm comparing this to the game now, which might be the problem. But and then I feel like Abby's physicality was such a huge factor in the game that it almost seems just like a little odd that they didn't try to follow through with that, because it would have been, I think it could have added a lot thematically and cinematically to those moments later on that we know are coming.
Well,
but overall, look, I fully respect the game. I can only imagine how good the first game is based off of this. I did enjoy it. It was a challenge, absolutely, especially for a non-gamer like myself. It was stressful. There were times where I was just like, I don't want to keep playing this because of the anxiety it was giving me.
Yeah.
But if anything, that's just a testament to how well it sets up the atmosphere and the tension and the stakes of the game. So yeah, no, I mean, I definitely get it. I'm not up to date with like the online discourse about the game or whatever, but
that's fine.
I had no qualms with the storytelling. I thought it made it a bit more interesting, again, to see it from both perspectives, and then it just, again, divide, or maybe not, like it might just be my own thoughts of like I'm divided on the two characters. They both have good qualities, they both have bad qualities. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't get to this point a lot sooner, that we could have shared this.
No, that's okay. That's
Steven and the show too, and I feel guilty about that, genuinely. That's why I was so determined to get it done this last weekend, even though it's just like not relevant anymore. But I did it, and I was just patting myself on the back.
Please stop talking so I can explain just very briefly, okay?
Yeah.
How I feel about you experiencing this game, okay?
Yes.
The only thing I want to say is I don't think you're the kind of guy that replays games a lot. And
True.
just based on how you expressed a lot of these moments, I get why you would never play this game again. But as someone who has played the game so many times, all of those moments where you feel anxiety are really good the first time you play them, and they're great every other time after that. But the more you play, if you played it one more time even, you start to learn, oh, this whole section of the game right here, I don't have to feel so much anxiety. I can get through this. Like, there's a moment where she like meets the Shamblers with Dina, and the Shamblers are a whole thing. And then all of a sudden she's like walking through a corridor for like 45 minutes and exploring the like safes and the vending machine and whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I can kind of like relax for a moment. And that's what I love about replaying that game, is there are moments where you can kind of be like, wait, I can breathe. But I wanted to say, not only in that hotel where the zombies are, it's also when Ellie goes through the corporate building where the stalkers are, and we see the stalkers in the TV show briefly, but like you show up and it's like the stalker zombies, they're like, they don't come out at you. They hint around the entire
level.
Damn.
Exactly. No, not me being like, who is this young child hopping onto our...
Right. Thank you, Morty.
I would just say I do think this is a game that I really enjoyed more when I played it again, but I understand that that's not necessarily your thing. And I do think when you watch the rest of the show, as playing the game, you'll have thoughts on it. And I can't wait to hear more about it. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Those are my thoughts so far. The casting and all of that might, change as I go on, and like characters might have a chance to prove themselves or further and better. I will say it is hard, like watching watching the show and playing the game at the same time, if that makes sense, because you're automatically...
I would not have done both.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I'm going to finish this game and stop watching it.
Yeah.
And then, I'll watch it retroactively. Luis,
Damn.
any rebuttals? Oh no, we lost you again.
Oh my God, Luis, just talk about Frame Voyager and get over with it. Okay.
Yeah, or just speak very clearly, and I will read your lips. Bat 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 bat.
That's how I felt playing the game. Bat 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 bat.
Bat pew pew.
Check it 1 2. Check it 1 2. Check it 1 2. We're back,
There it
right?
is. Yep.
No, I mean, I'm just happy that you played through it. Like I said, I appreciate you suffering through it. I feel like it's nice to have, I don't know, a basic experience between all of us now that we can always call back to.
Yes.
Like this and Fortnite and a few other things, like where we can be like, we all get it. We're all in the same headspace, and that's been really nice. And
like I'm a part of it now. I'm a part of that group of people who played The Last of Us, and for like over a decade, I've been hearing about these games. You know, it's
would you go back and play part 1?
I was thinking about it. I need a break, though. You know what I mean? I need to.
I get that.
But yeah, no, I think I totally could go back and play that.
What happened when you did hit Abby's storyline? When it hits Seattle day 1, what were your thoughts when that happened?
Oh no,
a little like. I'm not like let down. A little just like cautious. You know, a little unsure. I'm just like, because there are so many moments where I was like, surely I'm getting close now, you know.
This must be over.
So it was that thing of like, fuck. So there's like a whole, like,
half of the game.
Yeah, and like how much of that is repetition? Like you're seeing her relationship issues and stuff like that. And
you mentioned that earlier. Did you feel like, was that like something you may have gone like, if we're just replaying all of these moments, do I really want to do this? Like, were you almost like, let me turn this off?
Not so much that. I thought it was like, oh, this is interesting. I wasn't expecting this. But then there were like those moments where I was just like, you know, we just.
I thought they did a really good job in the game of being like, this is day 1, 2, and 3, but this is not the same day 1, 2, and 3.
And I did like how like you get all of this like dialogue and bits and moments during Ellie's storyline that start like hitting when as you're playing as Abby, and it's Ellie was just like a day or a couple of hours behind her, which I really liked how that intertwined. And then, like I said, there were some moments with Abby's character where I was just like, oh, this is neat. This is cool. How this is unfolding. I like with both characters, it was like, oh, we got to get to that tower way the fuck over there, but you have to go through 7 buildings to get there and shit like that. Those tested my patience sometimes, I'll be honest. That was tough sometimes. I was just like, I just want to fucking get there. If I have to go into one more abandoned building, I'm going to lose my shit. And I mean, you gotta, like, Sarah, like, had to witness some of that. But, yeah.
She was like, stop.
There are definitely moments where, you know, like, you get killed so many times, you're just like, I'm done. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck this. I'm either too stupid or this game is too hard. I don't know. But
and you didn't bring it down to story mode. You just did normal mode the whole time.
Yeah,
there you go. That's great.
I don't want to be spoon fed. You know. But no, there was some good moments, and you know, I think like going into the first game, I would be a little bit more fluent in like excelling my my skills and abilities, which was something I didn't really pick up on until later on. Like by the time I was getting to the end of Ellie's part, I was just like, oh shit, I could have been advancing like all of this stuff and making all of this stuff. Like I didn't use the bombs to their full potential, though I used them when I could.
But were you like were you taking like pills and like going to workbenches and stuff?
Yes. When I could, you know, like, but like I said, that was like a progressive thing. So
I kind of wonder if like the workbenches were there, but you were like, let me run past this because I'm already scared. Like, let me just get past this level.
Oh, it depends. It just depends on what the situation was. Like, if I was being chased, yeah, absolutely. Or I would, like, clear out a building and then go back to that table.
Did you get to that one moment where you went to the workbench and then they attacked you?
No. I don't, or not that I remember.
You had to have.
As Ellie or Abby?
Ellie, and you were at the workbench and then the guy, like, runs up on you. It's like the only cutscene workbench.
And maybe Ed just didn't go to that workbench.
Maybe, yeah.
No fucking way. He had to have. You had to.
I think you could probably advance without it, right?
Yeah,
no. There's a whole moment where you go to a workbench and, like, a guy runs up. He grabs you as you're working. It's like the only moment of the entire game. Wow.
You would have remembered. You would have remembered if it happened.
Because it shocks you. You're like, oh, fuck, I can't believe. Because you think at the workbench you're safe, and you're not.
I mean, let me tell you, there's so many. Yeah, when you're tied into like something like that, there are a lot of shocking moments for me. How about that? But
oh my god, you pussy bitch! All right,
it was dreadful. I'd like that. It's that kind of adrenaline that I do not chase. You know what I mean? But
how many times did you hop onto FIFA in between each level? You were like,
I haven't played FIFA. I haven't played FIFA in months. So
okay, I'm doing a bit. All right. So Ed, that was Last of Us. God damn it! Thank God you played it. We love that.
I did it. I did that for you guys, and you did it for me.
Do you feel like if a zombie ran in right now, you could do it?
No, I mean one zombie here and now. Like, I got some things
right behind you. Look, Ed, behind you.
That's not funny. That's not funny. But I told Sarah, I was just like, if this ever happens in real life, I volunteer to kill you and the children, but I'm killing myself because I do not want to live in this reality.
Oh my God, that is like a very real conversation we've had. It's surprising how many people are like, I'll just kill myself. I just won't deal with it. You know
I just can't. Because equally, you're dealing with human beings being shitty as well. On so many levels.
I'm a the road guy. I'm me and my son. We're going through it. We're gonna live. We're gonna survive until
Yeah. Till one of us like succumbs. You know, that's all you're waiting for, basically. Like you're surviving until you're killed. Yeah,
this is a good therapy moment where we find out how we all survive in an apocalypse. Okay. Luis, take us home, man.
So last week we talked about Mission Impossible, and I forgot to mention it on there. But when I was watching my Mission Impossible movies and all that stuff, there's a YouTuber called Framed Voyager, and he does a fantastic job of covering the productions of each Mission Impossible movie, starting from one all the way to the new one. He even has one where it's like, I don't want to watch all of them. Like, I'm interested, but I'm not dedicated to watching, 7 or 8 20-minute videos about Mission Impossible, you know? He does one video that just covers, like, the action of Mission Impossible, and I'll break down for you, like, all the things that went into, like, achieving that thing. And I just thought, like, it was incredibly well done, very well produced. I just, like, wanted to give a shout-out to Framed Voyager for the work that they do. And it's very good. So if you're into Mission Impossible, check that out.
Nice.
And then finally, I'm playing this game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This video game has been getting so much buzz at the office. It's been getting so much buzz just around like the gaming community. And I thought, why not? Let me dip my toe in it. It's a like RPG video game. And sometimes when I finish Fortnite, with y'all, I kind of want to shift into a different mode. And this is the game I've been wanting to play. And this week I've been able to take a couple days off of work. And so this is my like staycation video game that I'm doing right now. And I've only played like, I think a handful of RPG games. And every time I play one, I'm always like, wait, what the fuck is happening? What move does what? Wait, okay, what? It's like when you play a card game, there's like all these rules and you have to like, well, you need this. And then and they come up with all these weird names. It's like, ooh, and then once you get enough chroma, you can enable your Lumina to unlock your Lumina preset. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? But I'm starting to get in a place where I'm like, okay, I always get to a place where I'm like, I understand what you all mean at this point. I think it's just the way that sometimes it's exposed to me takes me back. I'm like, this is a lot of information, but I'm clicking into it. I'm like, oh, I get it. This is getting really fun. And the performance is like that's like real. They're really good. Like the voice acting is very good. The visuals, like the cinematography, like is good. I still don't think that they're able to capture the technology to make hair look really good. It's just like it looks like when you're sickly, like the hair is like not full. It's just like you can see through it. You know what I mean? It's like thinning hair, and I don't like it. And I don't know how much. I don't know if this is like, I think this might have been the first game for this company. I don't know, but I'm still getting into it. And I'm excited to keep playing.
I feel like in games, like hair and like ocean visuals, like if it's like hair or water, you can kind of go like, this is great, or this is not good, you know?
Yeah, it's like a big part of it where like they're swinging and talking around. It just like looks like your hair's thinning, and it's like it's not.
In Horizon, there's a moment where she turns this way, and the hair does like, but she's still, you know, and you're like,
oh no, yeah,
you know, it's like lock it in, you know.
I'll tell you who's done fantastic water is Last of Us Part 2. When you're going to the aquarium and you're swimming over, you're like, fuck, this water looks good.
Oh man, every time I got into any body of water, I just thought, oh, I'm gonna discover swimming zombies or whatever.
Whoa, Ed,
well, there's one time there is one though, you know.
It was that scary, but you're right. Those moments were pretty good, and at the end too, especially in that fight in the shallow water.
Yeah. And I just I guess I talk about this too. I got my hands on the new Switch 2 at work, and so I played I played Mario Kart.
Luis.
I played Mario Kart World. It's almost done. I'm almost done. I'm literally, what am I going to say? I don't know much about this game. All I can tell you is that they have a water scene, and I was like, oh, it's like The Last of Us, because you're like driving on top of water.
Yeah.
The aquarium. When I played it, I was like, oh, fuck, this kind of looks pretty beautiful. It actually does look pretty good. I get it. So it looks really nice. All the sayings about that is true. Fortnite on Twitch 2 looks a lot better. But the biggest thing is that the controller for the controller 2, the new one, it's very good. It feels very nice in your hand. It has like localized vibrations throughout your hand and also intensities. I don't know. You get your hands on it, and it's like it's not just like a general buzz. It's like 3D buzz. You know, it's just really good, and it feels good. That's all I really got to say about Switch 2.
Have you come around to the name?
Yeah. See, I'm an undependable narrator here. I'm gonna hate something, and then I'm gonna love it, or I'm gonna love it, and I'm gonna hate it. So you can't trust me.
Yeah.
So you got to just tune in next week to hear what I have to say about. Oh, I really was. I was not about it. And then after a while, I just like, who gives a fuck? Life's short. So,
what growth?
So yeah, tune in next week. I'll have a different opinion about something completely different. We have, this comes out Friday, right? Yes. So then tomorrow I don't know. I might put out a link.
I don't know.
For a stream. I don't know. Okay. 20 the balloons. So we're going to find out what happens next week. We're going to review some movie or just talk about some more TV video games. I'm going to keep playing Clair Obscur. I'm excited to talk about that. Maybe. Who knows? But until then, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me has been
Miguel Sanchez.
And Ed Bull. And to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, yeah? You fucking daddies, yeah?